What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. Look. Hey, Big Balls got his ass whipped. All right. Big Balls got his ass whipped. Who's Big Balls? Big Balls is one of them young little mini neo-Nazis that was hired by the neo-Nazi administration to go into the government and fire all the government employees under the guise of saving billions of dollars that we ain't seen yet because they ain't do shit. He one of them little young prep boy neo-Nazis in training who they allowed to get up in the government building and mess up the federal government's for computer systems and all kind of shit like that. Well, his drunk ass was at a bar in DC, my hometown, DC. All right, was talking shit, because white boys, when they get drunk, he probably rich, he probably a little rich little neo-Nazi, right? Big Balls, right? Little rich little neo-Nazi came out of a bar, right? Saw a white girl surrounded by a bunch of black folks. Didn't know that the white girl was the girlfriend of one of the black dudes, because in DC, many of them white girls ghetto as hell, man. They be black as shit. Like, listen, them white girls in the DMV be blacker than goddamn the blackest girl. They be from Bowie. I know she probably from Bowie or Laurel, some shit like that. Cause I'm telling you, them white girls don't date nothing but black dudes. They don't even like white guys. And, I guess he was, he's smelling himself. I don't know why these little rich little neo-Nazis think they money gonna save them get their ass whipped. Like, you ain't Tony Stark, son. That's a movie. All right. So he got his ass whipped. All right, by some teenagers. Hold up. He got his ass whipped by some teenagers. 14 and 15. All right. Kids, youngins, YNs. All right. Babies. He got his ass. That's embarrassing. He got his ass whipped. I'm talking about he's sitting on the ground all beat up and bloody because he couldn't mind his business. Because, he threw out the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Because in neo-Nazi administration, Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? Did you know that Donald Trump name, that's not his last name, not really Trump? Like the way you see it, I'm gonna put his real spelling in his name because he's a third generation German. They wanted to change his name because when his family came over here, they didn't want the Americans to know he was German. They pretended like they was Swedish because they knew there was a bad connotation, a bad look to be German, even though he's clearly living up to his goddamn pedigree, right? This is how you say his name, right here. That's his goddamn name, all right? For the record, since he like to say Barack Hussein Obama, this is Donald Snisselvinken Trumpel Snickles, okay? That's his goddamn name, Trumpel. I can't even say that shit. I can't pronounce that motherfucker shit. Either way, his little minion got his ass whipped. Fucking around. They always want to find out. They get drunk and stay wanting to fucking find out. How many more ass whippings do y'all need? I mean, damn, you know how many drunk white boys I done beat up in my life? A lot. Okay, a whole lot. And they be coming back. I don't understand. I got tired once. I was like, look, I can't do it today. All right, okay, you just come back. And they did it too, which is weird. All right, they just came back and I whipped their ass, right? But listen, now Donald Trump saying, and Fox News, those thugs. We're going to take federal takeover Washington, D.C. We don't have gangs in D.C. We got neighborhoods, all right? We don't do that West Coast gang shit, all right? We just got neighborhoods, right? That's it. Dudes from neighborhood. And he couldn't mind his business. He dropped the N-word, which is fighting words. And since he was drunk, he felt he had his little Viking pride in him, his little neo-Nazi Snitzelvinken German fucking hoofalafa fucking pride, and got his ass whipped. He was on that ground with all that blood and say, was it blood and sand, blood and soil? Yeah, he was on soil with all that blood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, white people, I'm telling you, listen. Why? This is not what you do. Fighting us is not what you do. And y'all little white boys jumped a couple black people up in one of them white fucking countries in the middle of America, right? They got one of them. Out in a little movie theater and shit. You don't see Donald Trump talking about, yeah, we need to send the National Guard, blah, 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 blah. Yo, this is, America's so fucking you can't come, the cat ain't going back in the bag, y'all. And it's so satisfying for African Americans for it to be just open. While everybody's sitting around, oh my God, I'm so shocked at how racist America is. Oh my God. No, we've been there. We've been knowing. It's just refreshing that they're just open about it. But then they think they're going to be able to put that cat back in the bag. They think they're going to be, when Trump is done, they think they're going to put that cat back in the bag. No, because all the Republicans and all the complicit independents and all the good cop, bad cop, silently complicit Democrats are all supporting this shit and letting it happen. And we ain't going to forget about that shit. Never. But we're going to keep whipping your ass, though. That's never going to stop. And it's going to keep going on and on until it's just one more of you guys left. The last of the white Hekins. All right, because you guys are going down like the dodo bird. It's going to be the last of the white Hekins. And it's just going to be one motherfucker. And what y'all going to do, huh? What y'all gonna do? Because y'all ain't gonna be enough of y'all to press the button to drop any bombs. Y'all ain't gonna have no minerals because Africa said fuck you and everything you about. So y'all ain't gonna be able to fucking refresh and renew them and upgrade them bombs and missiles and all that shit because you ain't got the materials to do it. I mean, all your little fucking white supremacy apparatuses is going to go hell in a handbag. It's gonna be like Russia when they was on top and then they shit just got rusty and dirty and shit and they couldn't replace it with nothing because they had no resources. That's what's gonna happen. And we gonna have all that shit. Cause all your fucking stupid ass freaking, no, they're not stupid. Well, they will be stupid. All your stupid ass military industrial complex, they so dumb and they so money hungry, they gonna make Africa the customer and Africa gonna have all that high tech equipment cause they the only ones with the money. Cause all you white nations, y'all don't got the population to create the tax money to create the revenue to buy anything from these military industrial companies. So shit. Everybody just gonna move to Africa and Africa gonna have everything, all the resources, cause guess what? Money don't give a fuck what color you is. That's the thing about it. Money don't give a fuck what color you is. So as the tide turns and you white folks become resourceless, as you are coming now, populationless, which y'all are becoming now, right? Powerless, which y'all are becoming now, and irrelevant, which y'all are becoming now. Only reason y'all is relevant now is because you motherfuckers are flailing in the wind because y'all see y'all losing power and y'all doing everything y'all can to keep it, deploying all your propaganda organizations and institutions and NGOs. But that shit ain't gonna work. It's the age of information. There's no propaganda you can spit out there that somebody with a cell phone in 5 minutes can't debunk. So y'all keep putting yourselves out there, get your ass whooped all you want. If that's how y'all want to go out, y'all can go out like that. The other white folks gonna be chilling with us, dancing and having a good ass time and getting a plate. All right, on the other side of the fence because they can't come in the cookout because it's closed for renovation. But they gonna get a plate, you know. They get, you know, on the side of the goddamn house, like on the other side of the fence and shit, you know. But they gonna be chilling while the rest of y'all miserable ass white folks is trying to compensate for some culture that does never existed outside of your rape, murder, and pillage of the world, right? To fulfill some sort of emptiness that you guys got inside that we ain't shit to do with. All right, y'all just gonna keep going that way while we keep going this way. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Y'all remember Doge and Elon Musk bringing a bunch of white 20-year-olds into the White House trying to find federal government corruption, but eventually found none? Yeah, one of those guys was jumped in D.C. last night. He goes by the name of Big Balls. Big Balls decided to walk out, drunk as a skunk, after he was drinking at a bar, approach a group of black guys who were surrounding a white girl, supposedly, and start yelling the N-word and to leave her alone. Turns out that girl was one of the black guy's girlfriends, and once he found that out, he got even more mad. And I wish I could find the social media post before it refreshed. It's all over Instagram. It's all over Twitter. But ultimately what happened is Big Balls, here's his picture again, he looks exactly like he thought he would. He gets drunk, walks out as the bar's closing around 3 a.m., hollers racial profanities at a group of black guys, and this happens. I mean, it's just karma at its best, and you won't see this anywhere. But anyway, Trump's trying to federalize, which means possibly martial law, into D.C. And it's crazy that it's just now happening because, hey, D.C.'s been riddled with crime. Left and right, it's one of the biggest crime capitals of the world, but now it's an issue? And by the way, Trump, when you say thugs, we know you're being racist. And if I see you in person, I swear.
Hey guys, you remember all those dorks that worked with Elon Musk at Doge? You know, the ones that look like they're 11 or 12 years old, incel, white nationalist types. I mean, truly the most horrible people out there who went around the government like twerps, cutting all kinds of programs, not knowing what the hell they were doing, firing long-term civil service employees and experts that we need to make our government function the right way, gutting programs for the most vulnerable amongst us. Well, guess what? This guy right here, Edward Korstein, broccoli head himself, calls himself Big Balls, probably because he's got micro penis, just got beat down in Washington, D.C. Now, apparently he's with his girlfriend. They're at an intersection or something, and he pushes her in the car. He gets in a fight with a couple juveniles, and of course, they beat him up because, you know, he's not much of a tough guy. And of course, I don't promote violence. These guys got arrested, and the justice system will work itself out. But I will say, if you do a bunch of evil, bad stuff in your life, it's more likely you're going to have bad things happen to you. That's just the way it is. You know, call it karma, call it justice, call it whatever you want. It's just the rhythm of the universe. So be a good person and you'll have a better life. Wanted to let you guys know.
Well, it's Street Rhymes with Artist Recovery. I call this Big Balls Gets Beat Up and Other Trump Distractions. Well, can you imagine being a 20-year-old guy and getting pounded on by two freshmen in high school? This is the story that Trump put out to distract from his DC takeover, playing the average Trump supporter as a fool. Now, the Doge boy toy, Big Balls, was supposedly places that he shouldn't have been, doing things that he shouldn't do, when he decided to mouth off to a couple high school kids who proceeded to beat him black and blue. Now, next up is the story of Trump on the White House roof, wandering around, shouting down to the press. Now, if he was understood, he wants to put nuclear weapons atop the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue address. And, of course, another attack on TV news show. Trump's target, again, a woman who is black. Just another day and another liberal-leaning, supposedly woke TV news show to attack. Now, none of this surprises me at all anymore, in the least. Now that we are an authoritarian dictatorship being led by the MAGA beast. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So President Trump is talking about taking over Washington, D.C. Why? Because one of his boys from Dodge, the guy that used to be called Big Balls, apparently, got beat up on the streets of D.C. As a D.C. native, that's fucking hilarious. As a person, he shouldn't be getting beat up. However, it's just another fucking person, like any other state, like any other city where this shit happens. Why he got beat up? We don't know. Maybe he's ran his mouth too much, or maybe somebody recognized him and beat the shit out of him. Everybody knows that he is responsible for firing a shit ton of federal workers, and he is in D.C. The odds of running into one of them are pretty fucking large. Maybe that's what happened, or maybe he ran his mouth, or maybe he has nothing to do. But for the president, because of this, it starts threatening to take over a city through federal forces and just to completely take over it. What kind of bullshit is that? Tell me again how this is not a fucking dictator. This is exactly what a dictator would do, and you guys keep covering your eyes and your ears and running in circles like fucking chickens without a head. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
I like how they're mad because Big Balls is a teenager. So, if you're a teenager, the Democrats say you can cut your balls off.
Nicely done.
But if you're a teenager, you can't log on to a government computer. I mean, his name's Big Balls. He's a villain, but if he cuts him off, he's a hero. What? This guy is a computer genius who's saving us billions of dollars. The other teenage prophet they told us to listen to from Norway, Greta, she was costing us billions of dollars. This is ridiculous.
We have some news right now. The reason Donald Trump is threatening to take over control of Washington, D.C. was because a Doge staffer, Edward Korstein, also known as Big Balls, was assaulted in Washington, D.C. He shared an image of Korstein on Truth Social showing him bloodied after the assault. There was an attempted carjacking, allegedly, of the former employee of Big Balls. Trump wrote that DC is now totally out of control and that if the city doesn't get its act together, he'll have no choice but to take federal control over Washington, D.C., essentially eliminate home rule, which is the policy that allows D.C. to govern itself. D.C. has a city council, D.C. has a mayor, that's the executive, the legislative, D.C. has its own courts. D.C. has been governing itself for a very long time without issue, but Donald Trump may soon use, now we know why, this Doge staffer attack to federalize Washington, D.C. Spread the word so more people are aware of what's about to happen. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack linked in bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for more. We have big news right now. Donald Trump is threatening a federal takeover of Washington, D.C., even subtly threatening some type of military action when it comes to Washington, D.C., militarizing D.C. He said, crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens, at the same time knowing that they will almost immediately be released. They are not afraid of law enforcement because they know nothing ever happens to them. The law in D.C. DC must be changed to prosecute these minors as adults. He goes on to say, if DC doesn't get its act together and quickly, we will have no choice but to take federal control of the city and run the city how it should be run and put criminals on notice that they are not going to get away with it anymore. Perhaps it should have been done a long time ago. Then this young man who he's referring to would not have gone through the horrors of violent crime. If this continues, I'm going to exert my powers and federalize the city. Here's the thing. I live in Washington, D.C. Crime is normal. It's as normal as it is in New York, Philadelphia, any other big city. Crime is not worse than it has been in previous years. Yes, there is crime, but this is not a situation where Trump should be federalizing the city, but here he is. So spread the word so more people know and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
The 19-year-old former Doge staffer known as Big Balls was beaten by a violent mob of minors in the nation's capital in a popular part of town, according to police. A 15-year-old man and a 15-year-old woman were arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking. The attack prompted President Trump to post, "Crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, and 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs." Trump warned if crime is not dealt with properly, he may be forced to take over.
Somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C., and either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
Now, this summer, Edward Korestein, the former Doge lieutenant known as Big Ball, spoke to our own Jesse Waters. Elon Musk reacting to the attack on his platform X, saying, quote, "A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion. But he saved her. It is time to federalize D.C."
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.